This call is being recorded.
Hello, everyone. Hello, by the way. Hello. Yes, I am. I am so incredibly sorry, you guys. I didn't realize that this move was going to be so intense. I number one didn't realize it was going to be so intense, and I'm laughing because you guys know me. I'm like, can we just get over the move? So no, I have actually been I have actually been down in Lunazil in my complex since March 19th. Didn't have my stuff until at least Thursday, which is April. This week, we're recording this on April 17th, and I didn't have my stuff. My stuff landed up in the closet slash my laptop landed up. I don't know where it landed up. My laptop landed up somewhere. My stuff landed up in the closet here, and I apologize if it's extremely echoey. Of course, this living room is extremely echoey, so you guys are going to have to get used to the acoustic sound engineering end of it. But I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm safe, and I love it. So where do we start? Okay, I guess we start. Well, I tell you one thing that Mark Loss, who is a developer, is coming on a winning cup. So he'll be able to explain more about this concept than I am doing because I am doing a terrible job at it. I am doing a terrible job. But what I will tell you is that the tales of Luna Zoe are never stopping. You guys, I'm not kidding when I say this. I just ran through a sprinkler to get here. I'm not kidding. We have a courtyard, and of course, my next door neighbor is the developer of this property. So of course he's here. I saw him floating around yesterday, and so he of course turned on the sprinklers. I will tell you guys, I got wet. I got wet on the way over here. I'm like, really, Mark? I'm supposed to do a podcast interview. You guys turn on the sprinklers. But now the reason why I can't do podcasting in the mornings right now is because I have a completely new schedule slash new aids. I went from 24-hour care 7 days a week to 4 hours AM and PM 7 days a week. So basically what I'm doing is living on my own. Basically, this community is designed to have residents, I almost called them participants, but they're not. Residents, and I almost called them students, but they're not. They're residents. Basically, what this community is each individual owns their own home or rents their own home, basically. So basically, now I am a homeowner. I've been a homeowner for the past week now, and it took me 10 years to get to this point. And basically, Danielle is been patiently waiting to get back on the podcast. I have too, and so and people have been patient with me, patient, and people behind the scenes have asked me, um, have do you work and when are you getting back to work? And the facts of the matter is, I was waiting until I was in my own setting to get back to work. I mean, I was one stuck duck, you guys. I mean, not to say that they put me in a temporary unit to finish stuff in my unit. Basically, basically what I decided to do is gut my shower and make it a totally new shower. And there will be a video to a coming. We just haven't decided that yet. I haven't decided that yet. Essentially, I need people to be working with me. I just had my transitional assistant just left, and so that was interesting. That was interesting doing, because when I left Aspen with a minivan, a power wheelchair, and a duffel bag. The dumb that I am puts a suitcase in a U-Haul, which the U-Haul, I didn't realize that the U-Haul was driven down by a friend of mine. I did not realize, oh yeah, the U-Haul is coming down 2 weeks after you coming down. And so I'm like, great, now what? So I lived out of a duffel bag for about a week, and I had to struggle. The struggle bus was real, because I had to struggle since this last week. Well, I've been only in here since the week of March, the week of March, the week of April 17th, and I only got moved in Wednesday, which was the 16th, the 15th, the 14th, I believe. All Manpower moved me in, and I only got moved in because my bathroom only got done as of yesterday. Now it's completely done and it's gorgeous, and I feel like I am in my spa, which that that was the main holdup of me. Well, it wasn't really a holdup. It was they just hadn't gotten it done yet. But of course, I wanted to put boots on ground, because it's easier to put boots on ground and see what and get yourself acclimated to the community and see what they actually are doing. And so it's been a long, long, long process, you guys. And the fact of the matter is, I went from, as I said, I went from 24-hour care to 2 hours a day and 7 days a week, both AM and PM shifts. So, and I am doing PT 5 days a week at my house. I am waiting to go back to work slash what they call down here a day program. Thankfully, my day program has a really phenomenal music program. So I'm gonna be doing that and they do job placement, job readiness, job this, job that. So hopefully I can get a journalism job. Otherwise, I'll just go to my day program, have something to do during the day, and just continue my journalism independently. And then I have to go pick up school eventually. And so that's going to be eventually. And I may do this after I'm doing everything in stages. The first stage is to completely get organized in my house. And I apologize for my coughing attack. It is not asthma related. It's not lack of movement anymore. It's not being cold anymore. It's allergies because every single tree is blooming, and every tree that they have in Arizona is now blooming. And I have never seen so many cactuses in my life, you guys. And so me being down here is great, but me being it's great. All in all, it's great. But and and Mark Ross will explain that to you guys. He developed pardon me, it's my allergies that's driving me nuts now. But he developed this community for his own daughter, and his daughter has Peyer's Willis syndrome. What I can tell you, and you guys have to look this up on your own because I'm not getting into it. Right now, I'll get into it with Mark if he wants to, but Peyer's-Willis syndrome is, how do I put this? They're loving kids, but they have a big fascination with food. So therefore, I had a next door neighbor before I learned about Peyer's-Willis syndrome, and that's why I have no food out on my counters whatsoever. That's why I'm very conscious about throwing stuff away. Before I learned this, let's just say I had a very interesting experience with one of my next door neighbors who has AIDS, mind you, who has AIDS. Then the AIDS gently got kicked out of my house because the AIDS were asked point blank, were you vaccinated? And of course, the AIDS said, no, I wasn't. And so my personal assistant at that time had to gently kick the aide out of my house. And I'm glad this is my house, but the way the community is set up is there is a walking path, and there is there's a walking path, and there is a main common area, and main common area is actually down a hill, believe it or not. And so I haven't walked down there. I typically bowl down there. I have access to a gorgeous power wheelchair, and it's so funny because people are asking me, when is this your first power wheelchair? Have you had power wheelchairs before? And I said, no, this is it. This is it. You're seeing my first power wheelchair. And of course, I'm driving into things and thinking wheels all about. I'm really, really careful. I try to be, but sometimes it's difficult. So what I had to do, and people ask me this, they go, "Well, wait a minute, you have CP, and what about modifications to your own unit?" And let's just say I had to wait a month to get my shower organized because let's just say that Prader-Willi syndrome came first and foremost when Monk Loss developed this community for his own daughter. He was sharing his amazing vision with all of us. So, therefore, the bathrooms are not handicap accessible unless you modify them. The kitchen is completely able-bodied, and I have to do something about that in the next couple years because this is going to be my permanent house now. And so, yeah. And so basically, because Prader-Willi syndrome is able-bodied and it's more of a neurological condition when it comes to food and when it comes to everything else, they're perfectly fine. And because Medicaid and Medicare are not paying for this, the only reason why I got down here is because I made the conscious decision to sell my dad's house. And that's the only reason why I don't want to say stuck because I'm not stuck. I'm blessed to be in this loving community. But needless to say, I had to modify a house for my own needs. And I had to modify a house, and that's what was taking me forever and a day to get back on the podcast mic because I was waiting for the modifications to be ready. And so I'm getting outside every day. I now have a tan. For those of you that follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you will see that I have a tan. And I'm still skinny. I haven't gained weight. I probably lost weight due to the move and due to me moving and due to everything else. And no one tells me that moving is stressful because moving down the block is stressful too. I had to move down the block this week too. So not only did I have to do a 10-hour drive in a power wheelchair in a van, I had, which went extremely well. And not only did I have to do that, then I had to move down block. So I am so sick of moving, you guys, that no. Move when once and call it good. And then I am so sick of moving literally and figuratively that I'm exhausted. But it's all good. It's good. I'm in a safe, loving environment, and this is what we want. And they're building the west side. I'm on the east side, but they're building the west side, and the west side is being built and modifications are being made to those. And I just found out that the house next to me is sold. And so hopefully the neighbor next to me, the neighbor on the one side of me is the youngest neighbor we have in here, and she is 19 and uses sign language, which I'm going to have to learn a modified version of sign language. I'm going to have to learn it. And I am the only one in here with cerebral palsy. So Miss Wynn is the only one in here with cerebral palsy. And quite frankly, it's an interesting challenge because we have one individual who's completely blind and 3 individuals with Prader-Willi, which is a huge fascination of food, and they're on a specialized diet. We have one individual with autism who likes to walk and walk and walk and walks all perimeters, and he's non-verbal but likes to walk. So if you see him walking in my Facebook lives, don't mind him. He just likes to walk and walk and walk and do all that. And then we have one individual with Downs who's primarily here on the weekends because he works during the week. And I'm just waiting for my day program to start. Otherwise, I would be out and about. And we have another individual who doesn't come out of his home, so to speak. He looks as if he's autistic to me. And so, and this house is monitored 24/7. So the only difference of this gated community and other communities across the nation is that it's geared towards the disabled. And that's the whole premise of it. And I am outside every single day. I'm doing PT at 9 a.m. in the morning. Don't ask who got me involved in that. A dear friend of mine actually got me involved in that. We blame dear friend of mine. she goes, well, she came down the first week I was here. She goes, here, Win, how to integrate yourself into the community. Do PT 5 days a week. And I'm like, great. This is great. After sitting on my ass for a month and a half, or longer than that, I'm back doing PT. And yes, I do walk around my house, but I am primarily a power chair user now. Getting to the expert level, started out with I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to load into bands. And now made progress where I can load myself into bands. And yeah, so other than that, I am happy as Graham. I am happy to be back to work, you guys. And I will be back to work in the afternoons during the week on Mondays. And then we're actually, well, I am, but Danielle's agreed to it. We're actually closing down this account because we joined a network, and for Winning Cup, that's going to bring us better SEO, better search optimization. And so we are doing that slowly but surely because I am taking everything back in stages. The first thing is moving into my house and getting all that organized. And then the second thing is me going to a day program and me getting integrated into the job market again with Arizona. And so, so that's a little bit about me, but never a dull moment. People say I should write a book about this whole experience moving with a disability, and of course, I still have no support. I do have support from my chosen family. It took my chosen family a couple weeks to understand this whole concept, that my chosen family actually came down to see me, and my friends who act like my chosen family now um, came down to see me, and they have full faith in what I can do, and they now have seen it. And I've been on. It's going to be officially a month as of April 19th, because I moved in here March 19th. And, well, not in here, but I moved into a blank slate March 19th, then got stuck in that blank slate. And then while I was waiting for the finishing touches on my bathroom, and then I was so it's going to be a month, and it's an interesting transition coming. Well, not only I like the 2 hours a day care, but it's an interesting transition moving from Aspen, Colorado to cheap Arizona. I say cheap. I say cheap because it's cheaper here than it is in Aspen, Colorado. And it's interesting moving from a closed state to a semi-open state where mask mandate is no longer required, and so people are being respectful, and I'm still wearing masks because I came from a closed state. Colorado is still shut down. Colorado, including Aspen, is still shut down. And yes, it's easier if I don't see snow, and it's easier for me to function in the heat, and it's easier. The only bad part, well, I won't say bad part, the only interesting part is having different disabilities. Be your next door neighbor when you're the only one in here with CP who brings the whole community together. Basically, people, my cell phone is going off 1,000 miles a minute. People looking for me. I'm surprised my next door neighbor hasn't knocked on the door yet. I'm surprised my next door neighbor, who's now grandmother to me, hasn't knocked on the door yet. But I did see her out this morning. But it's Lunazone is a house. They're not a care facility, and I'll get more into this with Mark Ross, when he comes on the podcast, A Winning Cup. But I'll get into that more with Mark. Lunazone is not a group home. It's not a care facility. They want you to bring your own care in, just so you don't have to ruffle feathers of them if you don't like your care. And trust me, let's just say I've had interesting care providers, and I've dealt with so many care providers over the years that interesting care providers or interesting care providers. And so, and the ex-care providers that I left in Aspen are still my friends. I mean, I'm talking to one right now that's known me she's known me since I was 14. And she was the original one I'm still talking to my ex care providers, and I treat them as my friends. And now, if the care providers leave me down here and get replaced, I still treat them as my friends, and I will still get them as my friends, and we'll make it happen. And there's gonna be another story that I can tell you guys. It's probably going to be the week after my stepmom leaves. Yeah. So other than that, I'm happy as a clam, and I may go back inside to a pool because it's calling my name, even though the AC is calling my name too. The pool is calling my name too. So it's and all website, Lunazo's website is getting heavily redesigned, you guys. So if you want to Google Lunazo disabled housing, you will see the old website, but a new website is coming. And yours truly did a video testimonial for it, and because I got caught by a website designer. I actually got caught by a website designer. He goes, "Hey, do you want to do video testimonials?" I said, "Sure, this is what I do day in, day out." And so, and it was so funny because I sat down with a love lamb I got me, and he goes, "Well, I just feel like I talk to a professional." I'm like, "Yeah, you did. I do this day in, day out. I told you that." Uh, I don't know when that's gonna be out, when I'm going to be able to share it, but work is going steadily, and I'm just easing back into work because I moved to Arizona and I love it. And this is going to be my permanent home. And so everything is shifting. I'm not quitting the podcast by any means, but I know you guys wanted a huge update because you guys got concerned as to, okay, where did the winner go? Where
Yeah.
did it go? And
Yeah.
did Danielle go? Well, part of the equation was, all the 10 hours trying to figure out what she was about to do. And so, and the funny thing is, people keep asking me how I met my transitional assistant, Sophie Bolt. And I said, I stopped laughing because I people think that Sophie and I were best friends for years upon years. I said I did I didn't meet her until the week I left. I met her twice. I pulled her aside once to see if I can drag more information out of her, and she was given to me by my support crew. Let's put it that way. She was given to me by my support crew, also my financial advisor, who's helping me with finances. And so he said to his niece, this, and she told me this, and he said to his niece at one time, he goes, I have a job for you. And the job is you're helping a woman move with cerebral palsy. And so I don't know what happened to Danielle, but I'll just keep talking. You guys, maybe my internet went out, and I don't think you guys can hear me. Hang on. Can you guys hear me? What I was trying to say is that my financial advisor told his niece that all she would be doing is helping a woman move across from Colorado to Arizona, and she graciously accepted the job. I met her. I met her the week that we were leaving, and I pulled her aside once to find more information about her, and then I trusted everything. Remember when I said I would land on my feet? Well, I'm the type of person that takes big leaps and then lands on my feet. So I trusted and I landed on my feet. 10 hours later, with a minivan, a duffel bag, a power wheelchair, and an assistant that I barely knew. And since in the last month, I have grown to Sophie's a brand new friend of mine, and I might be going on a secret mission that involves water and a beach. And that's all I'm going to say because that's I have to ask, I have to work on that, and I don't want to go home. I don't want to go back to Aspen because I don't have a house. I don't have a house. Yeah, and so I don't want to go home, but I am perfectly happy, perfectly safe, and so you guys have been wonderful and been patient, and I hope you guys enjoyed a winning cup as I was gone and move. No one tells, no one tells me that a move was going to be so stressful. A move from two states was going to be so stressful, and no one tells me these things. Even moving down a block is stressful. But yeah, no one tells me these things. Give me a little bit of heads up. Next time, tell me these things next time. People, you know that I have a disability. He. You know that I have a disability. You know that I wanted to do this, but I wasn't. I didn't think. Oh, that I didn't think that the move was going to be that stressful. I didn't think it was going to take myself and two team members, actually four team members and a couple of team members hiding behind the scenes who I haven't even met yet. And so, yeah, couple team members hiding behind the scenes. And I did not think that was going to happen. I did not think that I was going to, well, I knew I was going to be exhausted after the 10-hour drive. Yeah, and doing road safety as a woman because I had no men escort me out. I mean, Sophie's about the same size as me. So, and yeah, it's been an interesting journey. Well, welcome to Mr. Remember when I said on May 19th, 2020, welcome to Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. When I told you my dad had just passed away, well, welcome to chapter 2 of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride and giving you the adventure of Constantine Wind out of Luna Zoo. Welcome to Mr. Toad's Wild Ride again. It's going to be a fun adventure, and I'm happy that you guys are on a journey with me and seeing Luna Zoo firsthand, and the feedback I'm getting is amazing, and it's all good. It's all good because I like good feedback. Now, I'm going to a poll, you guys, I can't be stuck inside with AC. Um, I can't be. It's too nice. It's too nice out. It's about 98 degrees down here, so we'll have fun. But I know you guys want a major update, and we do have a small little issue. I have a totally different internet system that I am not completely used to that goes in and out. So if it goes in and out and we lose a call completely, just bear with me because my internet system is stable, but it typically goes in and out late in the evenings, and so it's going to be interesting. But I do have a desk. I do have stuff all over my desk right now because I'm moving and I have stuff all over the place. But I do have a desk. I do have my laptop, so that's good. And I'm happy to be back podcasting, and so I'm doing well. If you guys have any questions, you know where to find me, and um, Instagram. You should follow Lunazel Phoenix on Instagram. Their Instagram is okay, but it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better, and I've told them that I would help them with social media, and so we'll see. We'll see what happens, and it's gonna be fun. And yeah, welcome to chapter 2, Mr. Toad's Wild Mind. And yes, my dad bought me this house. I'll be fully transparent that my dad bought me this house. He also bought me a Power Wheelchair, and he also bought me a minivan as well. So that's what I get when I move states and move to a cheaper cost of living and a better, more supportive cost of state for people with disabilities. My goodness, the progression that Arizona's made for people with disabilities is amazing, considering that we have Senator, a senator down here who's Mark Kelly. Mark Kelly's down here, and his wife Gabby Giffords got shot. So she has a disability too, a brain injury, and TBI. And so I'm like, no wonder why it's so progressive down here, and a lot of the older population is moving down here. No, Phoenix. Phoenix is actually booming because it's great. My health has improved tenfold. I don't have the aches and pains of CP, except when I think I may be able to body it and overdo it. And as you can tell, my walking pneumonia, deep, bulky chest cough is gone. I don't know whether that was walking pneumonia and no one ever diagnosed this, or no one ever diagnosed it as a walking pneumonia. They all diagnosed it as a lack of movement cough. I still have asthma, but and asthma won't go away, but it's significantly improved in lower altitude because I was at 18,000 feet above sea level. Well, at 18,000 feet, you can't breathe. So me, asthmatic and cerebral palsy, didn't enjoy aspen after my dad died, and so we'll get into why. We'll get into why, and so it's interesting, and I'm perfectly fine. I'm slowly but surely getting my life reorganized down here after the move. The first step is to organize this house. The second step is to integrate me back into the community of Arizona, North Carolina. And the third step is me finishing my journalism degree. It will go in that on. It will go in that order. House, integration into job in Arizona, particularly having to do with journalism, and then finishing my journalism degree. It will go in that order. So hold me to it, you guys. And I appreciate you guys paying attention and supporting me. And this will also go on a winning cup as I update. So, welcome to Mr. Toad's Wild Ride Part 2. I never thought I would be Arizonan. I never thought I would be living in Arizona in my life. But the funny thing is, and I think I told you guys this before, is when my dad was deathly ill, thank you very much, and the doctors told him that Mr. Charles, you're going to have to go out to low altitude if you want to get off oxygen for the rest of your life. And he picked Phoenix, Arizona, of all places. And and my stepmom and I was more gun ho than my stepmom because my stepmom has a full time job, as I said before, and so she would have been happier in California than and California is only 6 hours away from me right now, and so she would have been happier in California than Phoenix, Arizona. But to support her fiance, she goes, "Yeah, I'll do whatever you want." And of course, that move never happened, but it happened in a sense because um, he bought a house um, in Phoenix, Arizona. It just happens to have me living in it. So it just happens to have me living. So I am totally safe, totally happy, totally not bored, not locked in, and happy as a clam, you guys. So the adventure should be interesting. As I said, this will go up as an update on the winning cup. And when I make the official switch to the network for the winning cup, I will let you guys know. But the artwork of CP is going to be still my own work, and still it's not going to join the network by any means because I want Danielle and I to talk to you guys essentially about living dis- living fabulous lives with a disability, and probably the next episode will be on next Saturday when we record, and probably it will be coming out on Sunday as normal. Um, and it will probably be about roommates and living with roommates and essentially living on your own. How does that sound, Daniel?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Yeah, let's do it because
Yeah.
that I'm living on my own. Hello, now that I'm living on my own, big giant house. Yeah, and the reason why I bought the this two-story house, even though I use one half of it, is because I have a lot of people coming down from Aspen, and they need to come and see me. they all of a sudden need to come see me, and they, I'm like, "Can everyone go away and leave me alone?" All of a sudden, people, like, want to come see me and need to
Yeah.
get to see me, and but it's great. But I feel like saying, "Can everyone go away and just leave me alone?" But no, they come and see me and make sure I'm okay, and it's wonderful, and you guys have been wonderful. And of course, I sat in here the first day and just bawled my eyes out because I'm like, it took me 10 years to get to this point, and the struggle was real, and I'm still trying to get over pieces of the struggle. I'm still trying to get over the episode called Yet, where I explain my emotional and physical abuse. I talked to I actually talked to all my witnesses, and I am now starting to talk to one of my witnesses who actually was standing there. I do not talk to my abuser, quite frankly. I don't want to talk to her because she's mean and she abused me. And so, unfortunately, my aunt got caught in the crossfire of her sister emotionally abused me. My aunt didn't touch me. My other aunt did. My other aunt did. We think, looking back on it, we know that her actions were very well meaning. They just came off as emotional and physical abuse because she now this is public and I know I told you guys this. Um, she was and is a heavy alcoholic, a drug user as well, using the white stuff. For those of you who have been the white stuff with a C, that a capital C, that goes up in your nose, basically. That's how I'll put that. So it's white stuff, it's alcohol, it's also smoking. And so, and I tried to stop her smoking when I was 8 years old because of 7 years old, pardon me, 7 years old because of my weakened lungs. I know that smoking bad, and yes, smoking causes lung cancer. And so I know that smoking is bad, but I didn't want to inhale it because of her weakened lungs. And I asked her, I said, well, the last time I spoke to her before she emotionally abused me, I actually asked her on June 21st, 2019, have you given up smoking? And the answer was no, I do it out of stress, but no, I haven't given up smoking. And no, I haven't given up alcohol. No, I haven't given up anything. She gave up the hard drugs, the one with capital C that is white and goes up your nose. She gave up that, but I think this woman is going to get I to get a lung cancer diagnosis if she's not careful. And the day I get that call, I'll say, hello, I'm not flying down to help you. I'm not flying down to help you because you didn't want to help me. And turns out that these two individuals admitted to a friend of mine that happens to be my lawyer, and they admitted to my financial advisor that the reason why they tried to put me in a home in Kentucky, and I know I spoke to you guys about that, I went kicking and screaming about that. And now they're pissed off at me that I'm living my best life down in Arizona in my own home. And it's interesting because they're pissed off at me, but that's okay. But the reason why they tried to put me in a home in Kentucky is because they're older and they physically can't take care of me. Even they physically can't take care of my disability, even though they can afford help. And so they admitted that to me. And in my mom's will, it says, if anything, because I read the will cover to cover, and it says, if anything were to happen to me or Tim, Marianne and Joanne would take care of Win. Well, according to Joanne, who got caught in the crossfire of my emotional and physical abuse and didn't stop it. According to her, she physically can't take care of me. I don't think Marianne can take care of me either. So that's why I decided to sell my dad's house and move to Phoenix, Arizona, and live my best life down here and get a van and a power wheelchair and a big giant house and live my best life because my family's not going to take care of me. So Win decided to make this move on my own. I did it with no family support except from my chosen family, aka my stepmom and my stepsister and my step aunt and my BFF, who is more like my sister, and then she is my BFF because she speaks CP. And so that is perfectly fine. And I make my own decisions. Even I am my own guardian, I am my own person, so that makes it a little bit easier. But even if I had a guardian, I would tell that guardian I need to get out of Aspen. I need to make my own life because my family gave my stepmom legal custody over me for purposes of cerebral palsy, not purposes of my brain capabilities. But still, and we'll get into that story in May of why I decided to leave my house and why I decided to leave my life in Aspen. And so, yeah, I'm establishing my new life down here, and I love it. And I still have help, and I still have help for another month just to get everything organized. And then once she leaves, I'll be living on my own with 2 hours a day worth of care. And so I will let you guys know if everything changes. But right now, everything is going according to plan. And I love it. And as I said, Mark Ross, the developer of the Lunazzle, will be on a winning cup. I don't know when because I have backtracked so many people. I've shifted so many people because of the move, and I apologize for that. It's the I'm sorry when in the midst of a move episode, and I apologize. But I'll be slowly but surely getting back to work on a winning cup, doing my own independent journalism work. But the house, the integration in Arizona, North Phoenix, and then the integration of finishing my journalism degree. It's going to be that order, and I think nice patio and a pool are calling my name. So I'll leave you guys with that. And Danielle, do you want to lead us out?
Yeah, 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 so,
Thank you for following us, you guys, for what she said, and she didn't forget it. And I think I'm gonna let Danielle do more of the intros more often because I I wanted to see if she was capable to do it, and she is. But I was also a little bit rusty. I haven't been on a podcast mic for a little while now, so I'm like, you take over because I'm a little bit rusty, and plus I was running by a sprinkler, and I needed help today. So, and it's okay to ask for help, you guys. You guys keep laughing at me because I keep saying it's okay to ask for help. I've asked for help with this move, and I've asked people on my behalf have asked for help too. So it's okay to ask for help. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness, and I'll end with a quote. People may forget what you say, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And I feel loved and supported. And that quote I just said on mic was Maya Angelou's quote. And that's a quote I live by every single day. And because I'm a big people person, I am in my environment and they seem to love me and they seem to want to accept me. Arizona wants to accept a person with CP, and so I am going to live my best life, and I will catch you guys later. Thank you for following us. Bye, you guys.
Bye.